It's party time. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. It is Monday, which means my breath still smells like tequila. That's right. The Puppet Master Mark and Let's Love Brandon at the helm driving us in. Oh, my God, who is that? Chris Cruz is back from Masada, from the Gaza Strip.
Dude, we got to
From living under the Iron Dome.
We got to talk about the Palestinians, man. Like, they kept waking me up to pray. I'm like, bro, I got you.
Did you ever pray? You didn't unroll your mat, face
no.
Mecca, nothing?
No, they thought I was a mat roller because of my beard.
Well, I see you there, yeah.
I was like, nah, bro, I'm Christian. Get away. Go.
You're one of those weird Puerto Rican Muslims.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're back. They are driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity on this Monday. It's going to be a good week here at the Chad Prather Show. And I got to give a shout out to the folks in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. I've never been to Pawhuska. And apparently it's a popular place because that Pioneer Woman show, which I didn't know was a thing. I'd never heard of it. That's a big deal. And those of you, you're going to send me messages and be like, oh, my God, I can't believe you didn't know about all of this stuff. I've been to small town Oklahoma, and let's just say it's small town Oklahoma. This place was gorgeous. And we did a show there, sold out. The Constantine Theater had, 500 people at this thing. It was fantastic. Saturday night, had a good time, and we're going to be in Fredericksburg, Texas this Friday night. That's going to be a sold-out show. I think there's like 50 tickets left on that deal, so watchchad.com is where all the fun stuff is. Go get them. Go check it out. What are we going to talk about today? Well, in the hot seat, my buddy Don Aman is here. You have heard me talk about Minutemen Coffee for a long time now, and he's been a great sponsor of the show and a friend. Don Aman, welcome to the show. How are you, my brother?
The man, the myth, the legend right there sitting next to me.
Keep telling yourself that.
Brother, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, Minutemen Coffee. Now, those of you who have heard us talk about it on the show, you know that they're freedom-loving, patriotic, constitutionally based, just believers in the American dream and patriotism. I mean, you send out a copy of the Constitution with every order of your coffee. Every
single order, brother.
How'd you get into the coffee business?
You know, it was more of a prepper skill. Just stored a bunch of green coffee one year, a couple years, 3, 4, 5 years ago, actually, and started roasting it and was sharing it with some friends and family. And my wife was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah. And next thing you know, everybody's like, "Why aren't you selling this? This is fantastic." Yeah. And so, it's been an amazing run. Well, absolutely amazing.
You know, I love coffee. I'm not a caffeine junkie, but I'm going to have a cup of coffee every morning. It's going to be black, and it's going to be leaded, right? It's going to be good stuff. And I started looking for some coffee alternatives because it seems like everybody's kind of has their coffee brand out there. And, of course, we know the big name guys that are out there that everybody kind of gravitates to and thinks, oh, those are. And I said, you know, who else is out there that's doing it right and has the same value? Because I'm a parallel economy guy. Right. I believe in supporting small businesses, but particularly people who have the same values as me, right? And when I discovered Minutemen, I was like, okay, these are the guys. I was sitting there at my place the other day, and I was out of coffee cups, the little K-cups.
Yeah, the pods.
The pods. And so I was getting low, and I said, well, I need to order some. And I ordered it, and I was reading to someone. I was reading off the list of all the names of the coffee and the roasts and stuff. And they were like, my God, that's genius. Oh. I mean, like, you've got Trader Joe. Well, let me look at the packaging on that thing. I mean, who doesn't want to drink some Trader Joe? Right there, limited edition, medium dark.
We want to talk about this bag too because it's the internet trolls are blowing up, especially on the Facebook. We did a little 15-second ad. You've probably seen it. I don't know, a couple 100,000 people have seen it. The whole point of the Trader Joe series, and now there's going to be 4 bags. Bag number 2 was shut down and simply because we had foreign faces on there, and the legal team said no. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that we're politically incorrect but factually accurate. So if you look at that bag, our graphic designer, who is phenomenal, everything on that bag, all those little Easter eggs are true. Yeah, that's the one thing that when I set out and started Minutemen Coffee, I never realized how many other coffee companies there were out there. Yeah, I'm not out to compete against anybody. What I want to do is I want to bring, and we've said this before, bring the Constitution back to the conversation. Yeah. So the Constitution, coffee, and the conversation. Every time this guy opens his mouth, it's more content. right?
Yep.
But you look at you've got the Chinook taken off out of Afghanistan. You've got the flag. You've got the injections and everything that's going on in America today.
You got the kid in a cage.
You got the kid in a cage, and that's factually accurate. And again, we want to make sure that we're sparking that conversation, because I don't want to give up on this country. I want to try to wake as many people up.
Yeah.
And if coffee can do it, by God, that's what we're going to do.
And you and I were talking about it. Like, again, I've always said that if Washington, D.C. or whatever bureaucracy, administration, whoever keeps writing the jokes, I'm going to keep telling them.
Right.
And you and I have talked about it. I said, it's not politics. It's not political. It's patriotic, right?
Correct.
But every now and then you take a little foray because the jokes just write themselves, as you said. So, this is, and we're going to talk later on in the show about some of these jokes that write themselves. But this is one of those deals where you're capitalizing off of that, and only in America. Because again, you just alluded to it. You said you had characters you were going to put on the bag. Like, you can't put Xi Jinping on the bag.
No, absolutely
not. Your legal
not.
Team said, can't
absolutely,
do it.
Yeah. They said you don't have enough legal, or we don't have enough legal expertise to do what you want to do on this bag to protect you from the international.
Because China
threat
would come after you.
Oh yeah, and so would the other country.
Yeah,
yeah.
So there we are. I mean, the fact that you can do what you do in America,
right?
In the fact that you had the balls to want to do that,
sure.
I like that right there makes me want to drink Minutemen Coffee for the rest of my life.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, when in the hell did it become so taboo to love our country?
Yeah.
That, I think, if anything pisses me off more than that, or all these multicolored liberal trolls sitting in their mom and dad's basement, with nothing else better to do, attacking guys like you and I, and the threats and all the garbage that comes along with it. Look, I'm not going to apologize for anything. I'm not going to apologize for my love of this country.
Yeah.
My father served 2 tours in Vietnam. I served 8 years in the Naval Reserve. My son's still stationed in Korea. Most of my friends are veterans. This was a 2 a.m. project that I woke up one day and went, wait a second, something's got to give.
Yeah.
We've got to get the word out there.
And that's 2 a.m. is usually when the best ideas
Absolutely.
come. It's usually, I at 50 years of age, I go to sleep on the toilet and visit the bed 5 times a night, right?
I'm not there yet.
So all my best ideas come while I'm in the bathroom, middle of the night. But that's where the genius comes from. And the average person looks at it and says, "It's coffee. What's the big deal?"
Right.
The big deal is, you built a platform that creates a bigger message, right?
Yes.
People look at folks that are entrepreneurial and say, "Oh, you guys are wasting time." Or here's the funny one: you have too much time on your hands.
Oh, good Lord.
And I'm like, nowadays I say, yeah, to go stand in line at the bank to make deposits. And so that's the thing, because it's the crazy people out there, and you're a crazy person, and I love that about you, who come up with these ideas that for some they're triggering. But for others, some folks with common sense just say, hey, we can have a good time. Yeah. We can poke the bear a little bit. We can have some fun doing it.
Right.
And enjoy good coffee at the same time. And it's a good conversation. But you get a lot of hate.
Oh my God, yeah. It is insane how much we get compared to some of the bigger companies, the ones that just went public recently, especially after Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
And so that's where everything started really blowing up. And were we prepared for that? For the most part, we were.
So you were guilty by association just because you're a patriotic
no,
coffee
I'm guilty
company.
by even associating with you now.
Yeah, thank God.
Oh, I know. It's insane. But the phone calls we get and the emails, and you just go into our Facebook page. I think it's at minimum. I mean, Instagram just canceled us for the second time. The first time was over. We were just about to hit 30,000 followers, and gone like a fart in the wind. Last Tuesday or Wednesday, we woke up. We were having a meeting with the creative team, and we went to go log in, and was like, where the hell it went, and we were hacked again.
And see, you're trying to do business. I was somewhere yesterday, and I looked up a video popped up. Mm-hmm. That I did back in 2017 that had 35 million views on it. It had been shared 776,000 times. Those are real numbers.
Those are real numbers, yeah.
And now you're hard-pressed to get 100,000 views on something, right? The censorship is so strong. The fact that these companies, and they're private companies, they could do what they want to do, but they are specifically targeting people who are trying to build a business, who have a message and have something that they want to use a platform for. And you fell victim to that, obviously.
Yeah. And that's fine. But the reality of it all, and again, the reality of this is that for the first time in human history, the beta males have the power to control the alpha males.
Yeah.
And they're power hungry. They're in that bloodlust stage, and they're realizing how they can do this, and they don't want to give up that power. And all we're trying to do is spread the message of liberty, spread the message of freedom, spread the message of the Constitution and the history that surrounds that and what our forefathers did. That's all we want to do, is to bring that back, because I'll tell you what, I have children. We're the same age, but the fact is that we have children and grandchildren that are going to grow up in a country that they don't even know what rights they've lost. Mm-hmm. I will literally fall on the sword for that, to protect that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you do it. You absolutely keep that message in the forefront of everything you're doing.
Everything we do.
And I hear people who have these business, these little ploys that they do, and you're like, do they really believe that? You and I have had enough conversations. I know where you're coming from, and you're kind of behind enemy lines where you are in the state of Washington.
Yeah, we're up in the communist state of Washington.
Yeah,
yes, we are.
And every time I say that, people say, "Well, there's good people in Washington."
Oh, there are.
Well, there's good people in hell too. Okay, but based on those standards, and there are good people in Washington and even Oregon and California. We know that, but by and large, it's just kind of it's under that grasp, right?
It is, and it's very frustrating because, like we were talking earlier, it's almost like the entire West Coast governors get together and on Monday morning licking the windows going, okay, how can we screw up everybody's lives this week?
Yeah.
And it's incredibly frustrating, but we are behind enemy lines, and we are looking actively at moving Minutemen Coffee down into the great state of Texas.
Come on, baby.
Because I'm from Lubbock.
Yeah.
And so
awesome.
I'm from Lubbock. My parents went to Lubbock Christian. They decided I had my mom's side down in San Diego. My dad's side was up in the Spokane area in eastern Washington. And my parents went, no, we're not going to move either. Where so I grew up in the Portland metro area, which is like the armpit of Seattle now. But it's sad to see how far we've come as a country, and especially up in the northwest of these cities with everything that's going on.
And I will remind everybody, on October 28th, I will be back in Everett, Washington for a show, though. I every now and then I invade. I show up, and the good folks show up.
Right,
they
and I'm looking forward to being a part of that. That's going to be fun. We're going to have fun that weekend.
It will be good. Yeah. It's always a good time. You were, and we talk more about this later on, but you were there at the Vegas shooting.
Yes, I was.
I mean, you were right in the thick of that, right in the heat of it.
Yeah, my wife and I were 55 feet from the stage on the, if you're looking out towards, we're on the left. We were in the VIP section.
Yeah.
Our backs were to the boulevard. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, the woman sitting next to my wife took a round to the head and didn't make it, obviously.
Yeah.
If you go back, what video footage is left, I'm the big guy that pulled the officer back from behind the wall. He took a round to the neck. That was me on video. And I'm a fire medic as well.
Yeah.
And so my training kicked in, and that was an interesting night, to say the least.
To say the least.
Yeah, and considering now that the investigative reporter who was just about to release his 5-year study on what really happened was killed in his front yard just last week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. So
it's wild.
Dude, it's crazy.
Wild. See, this is why the FBI comes to your office
6 times this year already.
6 times the FBI.
I actually have up on my wall. I have this little frame, and it's like when they come in, it's like, all right, guys, put it up on the wall. And the funny thing is, most of the guys they're just there to tell me who's putting up those reports. It's insane.
Any coffee company that has the FBI visit, you should support them. That's just my in this day and age, what we're living in.
And I don't wear it as a badge of honor or anything. It's frustrating because these guys are just as frustrated as we are. But it's from comments that I make or free men don't ask for permission.
Right.
Ever. And so having conversations with different people and passing and then all of a sudden we get a phone call, and next thing you know, agents are showing up at the door. It's like, come on back, let's have the conversation. I'm looking at tattoos, and you were 19th group. Well, yeah. Did you or did you not swear to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic? Well, yeah. And you're sitting here in my roastery interrupting business, telling me what I can and can't say.
Yeah.
And they're like, and the funny thing, the first time they actually opened up their binder and they had one of our pocket constitutions, and the guy's like, dude, we're customers.
Wow.
Well, okay, then you just lit a fire under my ass.
Yeah. Because
I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop pushing the Constitution. I'm not going to stop. Like I said, I'll fall on the sword. And by the way, I am not suicidal. Okay. Anybody out there, guys, get that in writing. Never in my life I ever contemplated suicide. I've been through too much, and I don't have that much dirt on the Clintons, but you know what I'm saying. So the reality is that I'm pissed at the point where we can't even love our country anymore. We're considered the traitors now, and it's like 1933, 1934 all over again. It's pissing me off.
All right, we're going to go to a break. We got a bunch of stuff to get into today. Listen, I want to remind you about the 3-week rule. It may be the best financial advice ever. You want to ask, what is the 3-week rule? Well, it's 3 weeks to buy a new car, 3 weeks to refinance your home mortgage, 3 weeks to finance any major purchase. And the reason 3 weeks is because that's how fast the average ScoreMaster user takes to boost his or her credit score, an average of 61 points. And listen, 61 points added to your credit score can save you tens of thousands in pretty much everything you finance. So the ScoreMaster technology was developed by credit data scientists to boost your credit score higher and faster than you thought possible. ScoreMaster's so easy, it takes about a minute to get started, and you don't have to wait months for your best credit score. So how many points can you add to your credit score? Be sure to visit scoremaster.com/Chad. They'll give you a special 7-day trial that I got just for you. Scoremaster.com/Chad. Again, scoremaster.com/Chad. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're playing just musical chairs, musical shit show. I don't know what it is anymore. Now in the hot seat, Scott Huesing, the author of Echo and Ramadi. And you know what I love about you? I know you've read at least one book. Because anybody that's written one book surely has at least read one book, right?
Yes,
so you're an educated man.
No. No. I never claim that. You know it.
How are you, buddy?
Good. It's always good to be back down here in Texas. You know, this is whatever month this is. I've been to Texas every month this year for some reason or another. Not just to do great shows like this, but with our nonprofit work we're doing, like we're continually tied down here. And I tell you, my love for the Texas culture continues to grow as I'm actively recruited to move from California down here. But
everybody's coming to Texas.
Oh God, we continue to get so much support for our veteran tribe down here in Texas. I can't ever say no, and it's just mind blowing the type of support we get. It's great.
What are you doing? Tell everybody about your nonprofit.
SaveTheBrave.org. For those who follow the show, have seen us come through. I think last time we were doing the Ride for the Brave. I was riding my Harley across country, and we ambushed Chad on the way back. We had about 30 or 40 Harleys in the parking lot outside, and that ride has just kind of taken off, and it's become this Forrest Gump-like event where people show up at each city. This year we did 9 cities, 9 days, rolled through Dallas again, Marty B's in Bartonville, hit Houston again this year, picked up that city, and we raised over $52,000 to support SaveTheBrave.org, who connects veterans who struggle in post-traumatic stress. And the whole time we're riding, thousands of people are coming out to support at each city and event, not just to give their money, but really help support what we're doing, and that is to prevent veteran suicide, not just wave a flag and raise awareness, but we're trying to create an opportunity in a safe space for veterans to really connect and then show them that they can do this. Like, you could start a podcast or a show, or you could be an author, you could open a restaurant, and empower them to be great at what they're great at. And the people that come out and support that understand that that's how we continue to serve our veteran community. And, you know, I was in the Marines for 24 years, 10 deployments, and I think I'm really lucky because I'm surrounded by so many great people. And a lot of those people just are here in Texas. And a lot of my Marines were from Texas that fought under my command in Ramadi. So we just have been driving that train. I'm still writing. I'm working on 2 other books right now and a documentary film. That's
awesome.
And I think, again, you know, at the beginning and end of every day, if you're not helping other people, you're not helping yourself. And
let's go back. Let's talk about it, because I was on an airplane a couple years ago. I was on an airplane, and I look across the aisle, and Party Foul Steve, who's traveling with me at the time, I look over and he's reading a book, and I was like, something's up, right? And he was reading Echo and Ramadi, and he goes, I can't tell you the last time I've read a book, and I was like, yeah, no kidding. But I mean, he was just glued to it, and he was until he got all the way through the thing, and. What was the purpose of the book? What was the point of the book, and how's the book doing now? I mean, what's the messaging there?
Well, The book's been doing great. I mean, we've been in, I think, third or fourth printing, and I never expected that type of response. But it's really a testament to the type of support we get just from total strangers. Is probably the best testimony you could get. And you know, I was texting a good friend of mine. We were at dinner with our guests here in the studio, and we were talking about Jack Carr's work. And I did a short video. And I sent it to Jack. I said, "These are the best testimonies. I know you understand it." And that's true for anybody who writes fiction or nonfiction. And when you pick the scab open and you bleed in the cover of 300 pages, you get it. And you've written, you know it. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, so I'm pretty smart.
It's you know, yeah.
He says that with such conviction.
I take a lot of leads from Chad, texting and advice. But
no, it's a great book. I encourage everybody to get it. I mean, for those of you who don't know the history there, I mean, it was the bloodiest battle in the war. You know, there in Ramadi, and you were there. You were a part of that, and it's a great story. It's a great tale. It's life. It's real life. You lived it, and you were there, and then out of that, you have brought so much life to these causes and the things you've done. You know, so. You know, I kind of live vicariously through you sometimes. I'll see you out on the boat, and you've got the veterans out there with you, and y'all are catching some really great fish and just doing cool things that, you know, that are just, and then riding the bike. You know, like you said, you know, it's like you're constantly on a transcontinental bike ride, you know, you're on a motorcycle, and these thousands of people just show up.
Getting together and connecting people is really something I've enjoyed, not just through the writing, but being a veteran, but also getting tied into so many different circles, from our first responders and people in media, insurance companies, funeral business, you name it. Once you reach out and they bring you in, I tell you, it's overwhelming. And the message we were sharing this year as we did the ride was that connection, and really telling everybody else that throughout history, every culture has had this warrior class, from Spartans to the samurai to the Apache to our modern day military. And every time that those cultures who raised and educated and cared for those young warriors, when they sent them out to fight the battles that they were either unwilling or incapable to do, when they came back and opened that gate, they welcomed in with open arms. And that's something that this culture in America is missing. Yeah. And as we are just passing, you know, the 21st anniversary of 9/11, we were doing some panel discussions with some other authors, and we were talking about that, because it's important to remind people of those milestones, not just through your work and your writing, but staying on it and not being apologetic for caring about what you fight for in this country. And I think that we've seen that time and again, and God forbid we would have to crash a couple planes into more buildings to smack America in the face and say, look, the best thing about America, and the reason that people signed up and fought for in this 20-year war that we just ended, was because they love this country. And America is best when it's united. And you know, that day after 9/11 really showed the strength of this country, and it is waning in certain areas. I'm an optimist, as you know, a pragmatic optimist, and I like to see the best in people. But I think by sharing those positive messages too, you really bring people into the fold, and you breed that commonality and mutual understanding of different points of views, and I think that's important.
Well, I want to go ahead and let everybody kind of behind the fourth wall and just tell you what we're planning. So I want you guys to hang for the rest of the show. We're gonna talk about this beta soy cuck blue checkmark Twitter culture that we've developed in America later on in the show, and I want to get into that. And if I can twist y'all's arm to get you to hang around, we'll just keep taping into tomorrow's episode as well, because there's a lot of stuff I want to unpack. But you know, you look at as you say, that warrior mentality, right? And it's largely lost. Like right now, the military can't meet any quota for recruitment, right? The idea of being a voluntary military right now is we're losing that. People don't want to be a part of a woke military, right? They don't want to do that. And if you look at, you mentioned Jack Carr. You look, you know, he just did the miniseries, not miniseries, but the season of, you know, the Terminal List. Chris Pratt's in it. Of course, people love to hate Chris Pratt for whatever reason. And you read some of the reviews. The viewers love it. The critics, on the other hand, they see Jack Carr's show and they go, oh, this is just some of that MAGA revenge, lust, fantasy stuff. And it's like, really? If we come so far that an action adventure You kill my wife and daughter, and I'm going to come get every one of your asses. Like, we really are triggered by that in this world. You know, you talk about being an optimistic pragmatist, and you know, I look at it, I'm more of a cynic, right? I'm a passionate person that's tired of being disappointed. I think Don's a little bit of a cynic too, as I've gotten to know him. You look at it and you're just like, I just want to snap somebody's neck. Right? Which I can't do that. I'm weak. But I know guys like you. All right?
Yeah. I'm glad we know guys like you.
Exactly. I know I know, you know, Clint Emerson and Jack Carr and Scott Huesing and all these guys that are out there. Mike Ritlin. I know guys that can kill you. You know, I don't want to get my hands dirty. But do you think, I mean, honestly, and we're going to talk about this some more, you know, the future of America, when you look at it, can we toughen up? What's it going to take to toughen us up?
Well, you're talking about the effects of a lot of the things that are happening on the social landscape and the political landscape that impact the military, which makes up less than 0.5% of the entire country, 330 million people. And those are the young men and women that raise their hand to volunteer. Right. So there are second and third order effects of what's happening and the erosion of confidence in military leaders and what they're doing within the military as a petri dish, so to speak, as for social experimentation. And everybody understands it. There's no place for that in that type of organization. And when they start focusing those things on those areas of diversification and quota-based systems instead of focusing on warfighting capabilities to defend this nation, everything else falls second place. And we can't have that. We just can't, because that's going to erode everything else that we enjoy, from economic stability, which is the whole foundation of our democracy. And it's not about American democracy. There's only one flavor. And if we don't have capable, young, well-trained people to do that, and we do. I still, again, being a pragmatic optimist, we have the best, well-equipped, well-trained, smartest fighting force on the planet. Make no bones about it. So anybody who lose some sleep tonight, you're not. They're still out there. And they're these young millennials, this younger generation. We're 50 now. We have to have confidence in those young men and women, because they're the ones on the street, in the cop cars, on the rails of those ships, kicking doors in third world countries, helping people. That's who's out there. Yeah. So if you're not supporting them, you got to wake up and understand that you got to share those lessons in business and in life, in your career, and not just the wins, but the losses. Man, I screwed up a lot, and I share that unabashedly, and you know that. Yeah, like we talk about education. Like I barely graduated high school with 1.24 GPA. I fared a little bit better in the latter years, but it's only because I surround myself with smart people. Right. So that may be the reason I try and make myself look better than I actually am.
You do a good job of it.
Well, thanks.
You do a good job of it. A lot of stuff to get into. When we come back in this next segment, I'm gonna trigger everybody and talk about just an example of what's wrong with this country right now. Hey, folks, if you want to know what the left's real plan is for your kids, I want you to look at the reaction to the work Patriot Mobile did in multiple school districts right here in Texas. The left is losing their minds. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative mobile phone provider and a force for conservative values. This is because they take a portion of your bill and they fund conservative causes, and even candidates who believe in the sanctity of life, freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, and they're winning. Patriot Mobile has affordable plans for you, your family, even your business. They offer the same nationwide coverage as the major carriers because they use multiple major networks. Plus, you're supporting conservative values with every call. I want you to go to patriotmobile.com/chat, or you can call them, 972-PATRIOT. Get a free activation with the offer code CHAD, I spell it Chad. Special discounts are also available for veterans and first responders. Join the movement, make the switch today, and you'll make a difference for tomorrow. PatriotMobile.com/chat, or call them 972-PATRIOT and use code CHAD. We'll be right back. Hey, folks, welcome back to the show. It's that time where we take an opportunity to attempt to wax eloquent. Folks, I want to take you on a trip to the magical kingdom that lies to the north. Now, I know what you're thinking. Santa's workshop. We're going to the North Pole. No, my friends, we're headed to a place twice as fantastic and 3 times as imaginary. Canada. That's right, Canada. I want to pay a visit to a high school, and in particular to the woodshop class of that high school, Oakville Trafalgar High School in Ontario, to be precise. And I'm going to show you a video in a second, but I feel the need to set it up a little bit. The high school has come out in defense of their recently transitioned shop teacher who fancies himself having gone from a man to, well, just take a look at the video. Chris, play it. Wow. Wow. Look at those. Look at those. I mean, first of all, you look at that video and you think maybe they're going to chop a thumb off. No. Wow. Look at those things. Yeah. That's a man. All right. I've seen enough. Now, for those of you who are only listening, this is why you need to subscribe to BlazeTV, because it was a man in a long, poorly fitting wig standing in front of and demonstrating how to use a saw and in possession of the largest set of titties I've ever seen. And friends, I have seen some titties in my life. Holy yeah, friends and neighbors. Listen, somebody, get this guy a better bra. You better make it out of industrial grade steel or something. I mean, steel belted. You want those things wrapped. Sometimes you hear people refer to big boobs as bowling balls, but that's usually hyperbole. These things are more like basketballs. In fact, even if the story hadn't referred to them as prosthetic breasts, I'd know, because there's no way that dude even has that much skin. I mean, do you really start out with that? Is that where you go? I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to start out with a set of itty bitties? I mean, at least until you got used to them. You know, you don't know what that's going to do to your back. And it's not lost upon me, and shouldn't be lost on you either, that this man is a woodshop teacher. Oh, yeah, he's around sharp and dangerous equipment all the time. Imagine being one of his students. And when you left on Friday, your shop teacher was a man? You come back on Monday, he's turned himself into what? An alien who had never seen a woman but only heard of them, and what it might draw a woman to look like? And he's hauling around a couple of Buicks in his sweater? And then he nicks one of those puppies on a drill bit and goes flying around the room like a deflating balloon. I want to circle back to the fact that he's wearing a wig that clearly doesn't fit properly. And the real controversy here is whether this dude is the poster boy for disastrous woodshop experiences or the poster girl. Either way, it's nonsensical. But the school is standing by this teacher. That's right. The school is standing by this teacher, determined to make sure that he remains able to wake up every day looking over the hills and down the treasure trail. Now, I can't say that makes me happy, but I'm so amused by it that it's hard to get too mad. Ontario parents, if you're allowed to be listening, get your kids out of public school. In fact, get out of Canada if you can, while you can. It's cold, the people are too friendly, and your government is, if this is even possible, crazier than ours. Now, in the meantime, I will say that there's a positive here for this woodshop teacher. Canada has free health care. So when the inevitable back problems you're going to develop surface, you'll at least be able to get it taken care of within a few years. Enjoy your wood. Boys. Where do you want to go with that one, Scott Huesing?
Oh, man. The content you guys pull in here.
Had you seen that video before?
No. Just when I think it's going to get a little perverse in California out there, like I come down to Texas and you don't disappoint me.
Dude, we scour the interwebs.
Oh, my God.
My head's hurting.
Yeah.
That was. I'm looking at that going, what that? Oh, yeah. No.
No, that's a lot going on.
That's a lot going on.
So I saw that video and I was like, is this a woman? Like, is it? And then I realized, okay, no, it's a dude who, and you look at this video, like those are, good God, that's a whole other human. Like he has a student in his sweater. Like that I don't know what's going on when I look at this thing right here. And don't forget about the nipples. Who could forget about the nipples? And I'll be honest with you, those of you who know me know that I would look at them. I would want to see them. Just a little inspection, right? You've heard me say over again, if I will motorboat Nancy Pelosi, I will look at that guy's tits. I'll do it. I will do it. And again, you can't hold Scott or Don responsible for my words here. They're probably ass men anyway. But I'm just telling you that I don't care if you're 110 years old. You got to pull your skirt up and show me the tips of the nips at the knees. I'm looking. This guy, wow. I mean, he just went on to the triple Ks right there.
I think of all the videos that don't make the cut that Chris and Matt have to
Chris is demented, dude. Chris finds this stuff. Like he's on the TikToks and the talks and all the videos that are out there, and I'm like, what in the F is going on?
Wow.
Around here.
I hope you pay him well.
Dude, I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with that. I take no responsibility for the stuff that comes on this show.
It's just mind-boggling. It's just that's just literally that's just mind-boggling that.
But we live in a world, and I want you to do you. Okay, I do.
Right.
Until now, if you start influencing kids in a certain way,
that's where I draw the line.
That's a problem.
That's
right.
A problem.
I don't care if you're in drag. I don't care what you. I don't care if you fart glitter and wear butterfly wings. I don't care. You start including kids, and we're seeing more and more of this stuff. And you have to look at that and say, okay, this is a teacher who all of a sudden. I mean, would they be okay if you just dressed as a clown and came to school one day and I'm just going to identify as a clown from now on? I would think they wouldn't be okay with that. because that's a distraction. It's a distraction. Wow, that's a lot.
We have a school up in Washington, and apparently they're letting the kids come as cats, and they're letting them defecate.
Yeah, they got litter boxes.
Litter boxes,
Furries.
and I read that just last week.
Yeah, well,
what do they call them?
Furries.
Furry's a whole other thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, these people are like, I forget what they call them, because we did a segment on that too, Chris, where we talked about they got places where they can go, shit in a box.
Yeah, it's right there in our backyard, and I read that and was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, none of this is making any sense.
No.
None of this makes sense.
So what I say is, when it comes to like what a lot of the kids are doing with the transgenderism and stuff is we had the goth and the punk rock, and then we had the emos and the furries and all these different things. And now kids have always struggled to find their identity, and now the end thing to do is say, well, I'm a different gender.
They've weaponized it.
They have.
That's exactly what
they weaponize it by simply trying to normalize it.
Right. That's what I mean by weaponized. But I mean, you go back, because we're all the same age. We're all, late 80s, early 90s growing up. I mean, I remember all of that, the hair and, all that crazy crap. But now with this whole transgenderism thing, they're weaponizing it because they realize that kids are struggling for their identity, struggling for who they are, where they're going to be in society, and they're going after them, and it's sick.
Well, I have people that send me messages and say, why are you picking on these people? And I'm like, well, I'm just pointing it out. It's like, people need to be exposed to what's going on in the world, right? And my thing is, okay, look, you're going to do it. You're living out loud. Then I should be able to speak out loud about these things, especially when it comes to kids being involved. And it's like, you don't want me to talk about it? Quit doing it. I mean, again, my whole thing, you've been to one of my shows. I don't care if you're gay, straight, black, white, fat, skinny, male, female, trans. I don't care. I'm making fun of you across the board. I'm making fun of everybody. I make fun of myself. I get to mock. That's in the job description. Yeah. That's what we do. But this is wild. And this is a weird world we're living in, that we just try to normalize this crazy stuff. So you talk about the military and just the weakening of not only humanity, but specifically masculinity. And God, I
think the most important aspect from my opinion is balancing out. I don't care when you do it, whatever it is your inclination is, but when you start including that as part of the curriculum, and that means they're taking something away. So if you don't have the core fundamentals of the educational-based system and what's important from history, math, we're creating a dumber society.
Yeah.
And there's going to be long-term effects when you start removing those pieces, when you start making more time for ancillary, non-important topics to discuss in a whatever it is now, a 7-hour classroom schedule at every level. And this is starting at the elementary level.
Yeah.
And it's being infused into high school and college programs, that's probably, as a taxpayer, more of a concern for me than what type of wig you're wearing or what type of clothes you wear. Because in the military, Chad, you know this, we are the most inclusive organization on the planet. We're the smallest, as I mentioned earlier, but we're the most racially, ethnically, gender diverse group. And every single day we come together and we are solely focused on one thing: mission accomplishment. Right. And we do that despite all of those differences, because we just come together and we understand that, hey, these things can be happening, but we have to do these other things in order to stay alive on the battlefield and prepare for war.
It's a crazy world.
It is.
Folks, we were talking about during the break, hair loss can be tough. Don?
No, it's not.
I mean, look at Don.
Embrace the suck.
Look how liberating it is. He says, "Why don't you just go ahead and shave it off?" I've done it many times. But there's folks out there that don't want to. You don't want to lose the hair you have, right? And you don't know what to do about it. So I recommend Keeps. Keeps is clinically proven, FDA-approved hair treatments available online, whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or take care of the hair you do have. Your Keeps physician will help you select the right products and develop personalized hair-saving routines that work for you. It's easy. You don't have to wait in the doctor's office or the pharmacy. Keeps is delivered straight to your door at about half the cost. Half the cost, folks. If you have questions, you can message your Keeps doctor 24/7. If those balding jokes are wearing thin, join thousands of guys who have saved their hair. Visit Keeps.com/loss. Get 50% off your order. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com, Keeps.com/loss. We'll be right back. Before we go any further, I encourage people go to minutemencoffee.com. Minutemen, that's men. Minutemen, men. It's very toxic. Minutemencoffee.com. And just for shits and giggles, use promo code Chad. All right, so they'll know where you came from and save you a little money on it as well. And, of course, savethebrave.org with Scott, and make sure that you support both of these gentlemen. They're doing a fantastic thing, helping people as well as educating people and having fun doing it. And like I said, Scott, you're doing it in a cool way, right? And both of you are actually. I mean, you've got hand me these cups, right? These pods right here. The Don't Tread on Me pods. For the, anybody that's got the, the little thing that you put your little coffee cups in, the little pods in there, and you make your coffee. I don't like saying the name brands because whatever. But I'm at a point now, like I had the whole thing where I was grinding the beans and I was pressing the deal and all that. And then I got divorced. And so now I do this, okay? This is where I'm at.
Okay.
I hit the Keurig and bam, there it is. One button and I'm happy. But this is good stuff, minutemencoffee.com.
Thanks, Chad.
And also... Minutemen Coffee Company on Instagram.
Yeah, so
that's the new one.
Yeah, we had to move over to our backup Minutemen Coffee Company.
Yeah,
right. We're
still long, but that was
it's
the deal.
Longer, but we're trying again. The whole meta or whatever they're calling themselves this week.
Yeah.
We've been fighting them for the last 2 weeks to get it back, and they're like, "Yeah, we're filtering you. If you don't like it, take your business elsewhere."
Yeah,
and we're like, but it is Minutemen Coffee Company.
And that's on Instagram. Follow them. And Scott, you're still Echo and Ramadi, right, on Instagram?
Yes, sir. Okay. Yep.
At Echo and Ramadi. Yeah. So tons of stuff. So we do something on here where, and Chris has been gone. I'm glad he's back because I missed that little laugh over there. That he keeps his head down, and then all of a sudden you hear him scream every now and then. And he likes to show me the TikToks. I don't really get on TikTok because I listen. Again, it's not being philosophically or politically opposed to it, and I am, but once I get on it, I can't get off. Because I just watch people do stupid stuff for an hour and a half, 15 seconds at a time. But Chris always plays a TikTok that I've never seen, and I'm anxious to see what he's got for us today because I want y'all's reaction to it as well. Play it.
I've gotten a few variations of this comment, and so I figured I would just take a moment to talk about it in a quick video. Also, I was dressed really cute, and I'm wearing my pronoun shirt, so I was like, it's perfect, let's do it. So for pronunciation, MX is pronounced like mix, like you're mixing things together. So it's mixed seagull. And when it comes to introducing it to students, honestly, I don't really do too much with it. When students come to my door, my placard outside my door says Mixed Seagull, and then my room number. My syllabus, I put Mixed Seagull. My email signature says Mixed Seagull, as well as having my pronouns in parentheses. So whenever kids come in, they see my name on the door, they see my name on my syllabus. If they've emailed me, if parents have emailed me, they see that. So they'll ask, oh, how should I refer to you? I'll say Mixed Seagull is what you can use, and you can also just drop Mix and drop the honorific in general and just call me Seagull. That's what most of my students do, really, especially the ones that are in theater that are around me all the time, or students that I've looped with. Most of them have just been like, hey Seagull, how's it going?
All right, there you go. I'm glad you guys got that stuff cleared up. And that's a teacher, by the way. Obviously,
you're kidding.
You put that together.
Right? That's a teacher?
That's a teacher who wants to make sure that these kids don't know their multiplication tables. They just make sure that he's referring, that was a he, right? He was dressed really cute. I don't know if you caught that. He said he was dressed really cute today because that's the shit that matters. What? I'm really not. I don't think I am. Don, you're cute.
I'm looking at this going, okay, that's my wife picked this out.
Hey, throw a clip of the mix back up there again.
Right. Come on.
Throw a little clip. Just show him, and let's see if you could pull a screenshot, any one of them right there. Because I think the mix was wearing, look, there you go, wearing the little open thing, just like you, Don.
Oh, so good Lord.
You guys have...
Oh, good Lord.
You guys must have called each other.
And I have no problem wearing pink because I'm very secure in my masculinity.
Yeah. Usually the guys that say that are the ones. That's awesome.
But that's a teacher.
That's a teacher, and that was the point. He's trying to make sure his students call him by the right thing, that the parents and their emails and all that are referred to. And see, this is the thing that bugs me. It's like you said, Scott, you're not teaching. Why? I mean, You know, my dad, when he coached Little League, he said, you can call me Mr. Prather, you can call me Coach. Period. And that was the end of that conversation. My father never felt the need to get on TikTok and talk about how he's identified. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we don't do that. Yeah. Hey, show somebody a sign of respect and move on. Crazy, dude. It's crazy.
I want to check out that syllabus.
I mean, that's where, and people keep telling me, they're like, that's not really happening. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's happening. This is what's going on.
He was a drama teacher. Isn't that what I gleaned from that?
Well, I got a lot of drama from it. So, yeah. He's definitely hitting
endless
his
material.
Marks. Yeah. It never stops. And yes, we do grab that small percentage of humanity out there that's purely insane, but it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
With more and more justifications to it. So, listen, here's what we haven't talked about today. So I want y'all to stick around. We're going to keep taping for tomorrow's episode, which will be Tuesday. I call that Monday's Hangover. We haven't talked about the Martha's Vineyard invasion. We got to talk about this thing. Yeah, we do. Got to talk about that. We haven't talked about Beto's recent little campaign ad that he did on social media. There's a number of different things that we haven't talked about. Like last night, Joe Biden completely owned himself in his interview on television. And so we've got to talk about that stuff. And I want to encourage you guys, go to blazetv.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad to save on an annual subscription. We're not done. We're going to do some little bookkeeping. When we come back, we got another minute. Do not leave. We'll be right back.
What was the old word?
All right, so let's remind everybody, MinutemenCoffee.com, use promo code Chad, and then, of course, SaveTheBrave.org. Scott and Don, y'all are going to be back with us tomorrow, and we're just going to keep rolling into this thing because we got some clips I want to play you guys and just absolute insanity, the world we're living in, and we'll try to keep it away from the multicolored hair people and all that kind of stuff and show you things like the actual president of the United States and the guy that's running on the Democratic ticket in Texas to be the next governor. It's crazy on stuff like that, but thanks, guys, for being on. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having us.
Don't move.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I might, I don't know, I'm going to get another cup of coffee and maybe put some whiskey in it or something. I've never put tequila in coffee. Maybe I'll try that. Let's see. You
can put vitamin A in anything. Yeah.
And we wrote CJ and I did a song the other day that went crazy viral. Millions of people have now watched it.
I told you. Didn't I tell you?
Invasion of Martha's Vineyard.
Did I not tell you that when you posted that, it's going to go platinum?
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to see it hanging on the wall, man.
It's crazy.
That's going to be awesome.
It's crazy. But anyway, make sure that you guys are subscribed. BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. And then go shopping at ChadOnBlaze.com. And again, don't forget, watch Chad.com. Just coming up, I've got Fredericksburg, Texas. There's a few tickets left for that show Friday night. And they're going to be in Godley, Texas on the 1st of October. That's going to be a packed house as well. So get your tickets. And tons of other stuff coming up everywhere from South Carolina, Washington, North Carolina, Florida. We're bouncing all over the country, including Illinois. We're going to Quincy, Illinois. So fun stuff. We'll see you tomorrow night. We love you. God bless you, and talk to you then.